if you have a belief that says nobody likes me and nobody's gonna love me, do you know why it's better to go to porn? Because if you have a belief that says nobody likes me and nobody wants me, then that means that the pastors around you, the leaders around you, your friends around you, your parents around you, your siblings, no one likes you and no one wants you. And if you created a world where you're never wanted, where you're never loved, ever, by that belief system, then porn is going to be the very thing that you need in order to keep getting through those really hard days, living in a really hard world that doesn't want anything to do with you. Again, I'm not saying that that's truth, because truth would set you free. I'm saying that that's the story, that's the narrative. Now, there's so many reasons why, and the curiosity at that point, I'll just kind of put a book in it, would be like, why? Where did that come from? Who taught you that? You didn't come out of the womb that way. Where did that story get given to you or molded? What experiences led to you believing that? But for right now, I want you to just uncover what it is that's blocking you mentally, emotionally, spiritually, in your mind from being able to actually quit porn.
You like this, you like being daddy's arms with microphones. You like being a worker. You're made for the camera. Both my boys are.
Hey, this video you are about to watch is a part of a series where I show you how to quit porn the right way. So do yourself a favor, binge on all of this content, all the videos that you possibly can, because who knows, maybe if the value and the trust is built together over this journey, you'll want to jump into a community that I call Fit for Family. Or maybe you think these videos suck, and that's also fair too. But nonetheless, there's only one way for us to find out. So enough of me, let's get back to serving you and let's get back to the video. All right, I want to help you understand why you are going to porn right now. Because the most powerful story you will ever hear in your entire life is the story that you are telling yourself. The story that you and I ruminate on, the beliefs, the opinions, that narrative dominates our entire world. And there are certain stories, that's what I call them. You could call them belief systems, you can call them other things, but the reason why I call it a story is because stories can change. But when we say we have beliefs, we get very, very strong and adamant about our beliefs, especially as Christians, because we think we believe this certain thing and it's absolutely true and it's all by faith. And there's just a lot of rigidity, which isn't a bad thing when they're helpful beliefs, but when they're beliefs that tear us down, then they're not so easily to change. So I call these stories or a narrative because narratives can change and stories can change just by our perception of it, right? That's why in a court of law, when different accounts or witnesses are sharing what's going on, they all have different narratives, different stories of the same thing. But our goal is to figure out what the real one is, the most helpful one is. So when it comes to you quitting porn, you have a story. There's a reason why you feel like it's easier to go to porn and more beneficial to go to porn than not. And oftentimes it's because of, and 100% of the time, it's because of our belief systems. There are certain beliefs, certain thoughts that we're thinking that tell us that it's easier if we go to porn. Now, let me give you some examples. And my goal for you is to just reflect, journal, and then share with your group, the people that you've brought into this journey with you, why. What those beliefs are and maybe why that is. So for example, if you have a belief that says nobody likes me and nobody's going to love me, do you know why it's better to go to porn? Because if you have a belief that says nobody likes me and nobody wants me, then that means that the pastors around you, the leaders around you, your friends around you, your parents around you, your siblings, no one likes you and no one wants you. And if you created a world where you're never wanted, where you're never loved, ever, by that belief system, then porn is going to be the very thing that you need in order to keep getting through those really hard days, living in a really hard world that doesn't want anything to do with you. Again, I'm not saying that that's truth, because truth would set you free. I'm saying that that's the story, that's the narrative. Now, there's so many reasons why, and the curiosity at that point, I'll just kind of put a book in it, would be like, why? Where did that come from? Who taught you that? You didn't come out of the womb that way. Where did that story get given to you or molded? What experiences led to you believing that? But for right now, I want you to just uncover what it is that's blocking you mentally, emotionally, spiritually, in your mind from being able to actually quit porn. And it's the story. Maybe you have another story that's like, I'm single. I have no other outlet, because you've thought it's about sex drive. You thought it was about hormones. You thought that it was about just being able to have sex with a woman. And then You might need to start riffing on that because the truth is, obviously, so many married men struggle with porn, so that might be a food for thought for you. But if you have that belief system that says, I'll be struggling with porn until I'm married, then that's going to be the case. That you will struggle with porn until you're married because we always want to defend our belief systems, right? Henry Ford of Ford Motors was famous for saying this quote that whether you think you can or you can't, you're right. Whether you think you can or you can't, you are right. And that's huge because we always want to defend that which we believe. No one likes to be proven wrong. I don't want to be proven wrong. You don't want to be proven wrong. We want to see it being true. So when we have these beliefs, we're going to find ways to make it happen over and over and over again. But these beliefs right now are dictating everything. So if you happen to figure out what they really are, be like, I'm ugly, I'm not good looking, a girl would never want to be a guy like me because I have pimples on my face or I'm overweight, then you're creating these external forces that are stopping you from being able to have internal freedom. Again, I'm not saying that this is the truth of the story forever. I'm just trying to help you understand your own story because the lack of understanding your story is creating the impulse to want to run away. And if you could really face it and see and kind of get behind the curtain and get behind the matrix of what's really happening here, you could start to understand the fallacy of it. You can start to work on it. We can begin to shift it. But part of breaking these patterns is just by exposing them. Part of breaking apart these walls is just by revealing them in the first place. Because if it's been concealed and hidden and behind closed doors forever, just by coming out with it and sharing it and bringing it out in the open is already going to strip away a lot of its power from you. And the beautiful part here is you're not doing this alone. You're doing this with the people around you inside of this group that you're a part of. So what I'd love for you to do is I'd love for you to methodically just have a moment with God, invite God in and ask him to expose to you the belief systems and the story and the real root reasons, all of them, not just one, not just two, but it could be 20. I don't know. All the reasons that you believe that you are using porn to cope that are blocking you. These are the and buts, I wouldn't say excuses because that sounds very deliberate and it sounds like you should know better and you're just making up excuses to not take ownership. I believe you want to. But if you feel like you are just stuck and blocked, I want you to just begin to uncover and understand what they are and why that is. And then I want you to share it boldly, courageously, and vulnerably with your group. The good news is they're all going to be in the same boat as you with all of their own limiting beliefs. So what we're not going to create here is a wound licking club where we all just find connection and comfort through our crappy narratives and stories, but so that you can expose it into the light so that can start to be the truth that sets you free. Because exposing this is going to be really, really big. Again, nothing to fix, something to just understand and know about you so you can begin to build awareness and start to break these patterns. So dialogue about it, journal about it, reflect on it, share it with your group, and I hope this serves you well. I believe in you, I love you, and I'll catch you in the next one. Hey, real quick, if you like that video that you just saw, or if you want to see even better videos than this in a series that I made called Annihilate Porn to help guys or girls like you quit porn, you can subscribe, hit the notification bell so you don't forget any alerts, comment, like, all that jazz, and more importantly, check out the next video that's going to take you even further on the journey from where you are to where you want to be. I love you tons. I'll catch you in the next one.